some of you have asked, and because I aim to please, I thought, why not create a video and talk about what I think about G5 schools and the college football playoffs and all those different things. So before I start this, though, I want to say a couple of things. I am not of the fan of everybody deserves a participation trophy. I believe in feedback. I believe in real feedback. I believe in telling people the truth. I believe in being brutally honest and not holding hands and not acting like something isn't what it actually isn't. Having said that, G5 schools do not belong with P4 schools in any type of playoff, in any type of situation, because if they were the same, they would be called the same. G5 doesn't have the money that P4 schools have. They don't have the athletes that P4 schools do. So I don't understand why we try to put them together. I think it is a huge mistake. I think it does college football a huge disservice. I think it's just another thing where we can say college football is broken. It's absolutely broken because they're in there because of greed, I feel like. There is a reason that G5 schools are in this college football playoff, and I think it's disgusting, and I think it needs to stop. I don't think we're doing G5 schools any favors. I don't think it's helping them. I don't think it's improving anything for them, because the truth of the matter is, even when they do well and they play well and they have great games, once they play in those games, and let's say they have a good game, even if they lose by 40, but there's one star on that team, that one star on that team is no longer going to be on that team. Somebody is going to get them through the transfer portal. So I don't understand why G5 schools are playing with P4 schools. I think it's a wasted spot. And this year it was two wasted spots. I think it's ridiculous. I think college football needs to change this rule immediately, because I don't think it serves any purpose. I don't think it helps anybody. I don't think it helps anything. I think it's like a participation trophy. We're like, hey, congratulations, good for you for winning your conference. Because you win your conference, here's this participation trophy. Come on and play, because you're probably not going to win. You're probably going to be undersized. You're not going to have any advantages in these games, but let's just see what it looks like. I don't understand it, and I hate it, and I think it's a waste of time. So that is what I feel about G5 schools playing in the college football playoffs. I think it needs to go away immediately. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button, double check and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Leave me a comment in the comment section below, turn on those notification bells, and if you want to, I do have a membership available that you can join and get all the behind the scenes content that you didn't know that you needed. The other thing I've been thinking about lately is because I know on January 23rd of 2026, there is a college football committee meeting where rules can be changed and things can be decided. I'm hoping in that meeting, they come together and say, okay, we have done this for 2 years. Here's some things that worked really well. Last year, we got the reseeding. I think that was fantastic. I think that worked itself out very well this year. I think the next thing we have to do is we have to change the G5 rules. I don't think if there's an open spot because a conference didn't do what they were supposed to do, I don't think the answer is inserting a G5 team. I think the answer is another Power 4 team. I think that was an oversight. I hope they fix it. I think the other thing is, I don't know if they're going to do this, I think we need to get back to strength of schedule. I think we have to get back to strength of schedule, because what is happening in college football right now, there's little things here and there that are starting to make a big impact. First, you have the transfer portal, then you change the rules, then you do this, then we lose spring games. Now we have the college football playoffs, and now because we're judging wins and not strength of schedule, you now have teams that are just not going to play each other because there's no point in playing each other. I think they are making a huge mistake by not having strength of schedule be one of the deciding factors in the teams that make the playoffs. I think it should be a pie, and I absolutely do not think you should just go on wins alone, because a 10-win team is not the same win team in every single conference, and we all know that. We've all seen that, and I think it will be interesting to see what happens in the games that are coming up, because there are some 10-2 teams that maybe shouldn't be there, but we'll see what happens. Because I also don't think the 11-1 Texas A&M team was very good, but they were ranked where they were ranked because of their record. And I think, but if you looked at their strength of schedule, I don't think they would have been ranked where they were ranked, and we might have seen something different. I think collectively, we have to start looking at strength of schedule. Slowly, we're starting to lose things in college football that we're not going to be able to get back if we don't fix it, and we have to fix it now. And if you fix strength of schedule now, and if you make that precedent now, these big games, we will continue to see them. They won't go away. But if you're telling me that it only matters if you win or lose games, then why would I play these outside conference matchups? Why would I play these big games? They don't matter. They're only going to hurt me. They're never going to help me. So why play them? So I really hope that they evaluate the standard that it takes to get in the college football playoffs. I think it would be cool to have more teams. I'll be honest with you, I don't really know if there are 16 good teams in college football ever, but it's fun to watch. much. So I think you've got to get rid of this G5 stuff. I think you have to make strength of schedule one of the ways that you are seeding these teams and ranking these teams, because everybody doesn't have the same type of wins and everybody doesn't have the same type of losses. And I think we need to start having that conversation. The last thing I'm going to say, and I know a lot of people probably don't agree with me, and that is okay. I am so tired of hearing people talk about how these athletes are running college football, how these athletes are running the sport that they love. It is not the athletes that are running the sport that you love. It is the coaches that set this in motion. The college football is messed up because of coaches. It all starts with the coaches. When the coaches want to leave, when the coaches want to make more money, when the coaches start making business decisions, and the coaches have been making business decisions for decades. And so now it is time for the players to start making business decisions, and people are mad at the players for making business decisions, but we're not blaming their leaders, i.e. their coaches, for being the first ones that started making business decisions. The coaches started this landscape in college football. I'm about to get on my soapbox, so get ready. The coaches are responsible for where college football is right now. The coaches used to recruit these athletes, and they used to lie to them, and they could not give them honest feedback, and they could not actually tell them their exact place on that football team, and they lied to get them in the building. And when you lie to get somebody in a building, and now the people that you used to lie to get you in the building, now they have power, they're going to use that power. So the truth of the matter is, if the coaches would be honest about what is going on in their programs, what their programs look like, if these players are going to play, where they see these players fitting in on their teams, I think that we would have a different college football landscape. But the coaches did not do that. They were lying, and people call that's recruiting. Well, that's fantastic. Now, though, we have players that are like, hey, I don't like this situation. I don't like the way that I was recruited. This doesn't work for me. I am not able to play. I am not able to do the things the coach that recruited me said I'm able to do. I'm out of here. The coaches do the same thing. When the coaches see a bigger opportunity, when the coaches see an opportunity to make money, when the coaches feel like there's a better place for them to go, for their family, for how they feel, guess what they do? They get their stuff and they get the hell out of there. And nobody ever blames them for anything. So if you want to blame somebody for ruining college football or for impacting college football, it starts with the coaches. It starts with the coaches that have signed contracts for a couple of years but leave for the next opportunity. They started this. So now that the players are moving and shaking and doing what they want to do, we can't blame them for that. They are doing exactly what their leaders are doing. They're doing exactly what they have seen their coaches do. They are doing exactly what they have been trained to do. And who can fault them for that? Who can fault these athletes for doing what is best for them? Shout out to the athletes for doing what's best for them. We need to start placing blame on the people who deserve the blame, and that is the coaches, and that is the coaches that have designed this system. The players did not design this system. The coaches designed this system. I'm going to get off the soapbox. I'm going to end this video here. So no G5 schools in the college football playoffs. I think that's ridiculous. If you need a fix, my fix is this. Have a G5 playoffs playing on the opposite week that the P4 teams are playing, because these bowl games are kind of a joke too. So turn the bowl games into the G5 games and make something happen to where we can watch a P4 playoff matchup, and the next week we get the G5 matchup, and then the next week we get a P4 matchup, and then the next week we get a G5 matchup. Why not? Why are we not doing that? There's a whole week of football that is missing. Add the G5 teams, let them play it out on their own. Give them 8 teams to start. I don't really care what it looks like. All I know is they do not need to be with Power 4 teams. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video.